Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Napster here. Sorry, I don't really know about all this live stuff on YouTube and stuff like that, but I'm trying to learn, so bear with me. All I'm gonna do right now is watch the news, and I'm just gonna simply comment on it, just like I would if I had the software, but I don't, so we're gonna watch some TV together. No big deal. Let's have some fun. Alright, let's do it. By the way, this ABC News Live. It's not Fox, it's not MSNBC. Supposedly it's right in the middle. We'll find out.
Just in tonight, a New York grand jury has now indicted Mangione on first and second degree murder charges.
How do you guys feel about that thing?
In furtherance of terrorism.
Looks like my social studies teacher. He's a Greek guy.
Murder with the intent to cause terror. And we've now learned how
I heard he just had some back problems and was denied coverage.
Also tonight, this is the image of the 15-year-old girl who police say killed a teacher and a fellow
That's
student
the
walked into a study hall at her school.
T
Tonight, what we're now
gender
saying about motive. The
kid.
mixed drone sightings tonight, what the Pentagon is now saying about this and what they've now deployed tonight. And lawmakers emerging from a 3-hour
That looks like a
House intelligence
freaking
briefing.
Boeing or something.
And what they said afterward.
These drones are.
The accused Long Island
They got to be a
serial killer
distraction
said,
for
"I am
something
not
else.
guilty of any of these charges. Tonight, he is now charged with the murder of a seventh woman. You'll see the scene
And this guy from Dildo Beach, like every day he's getting charged with another murder.
Russian general in a bomb attack in Moscow. Tonight, the images of the scooter at the door. You'll see it right here.
That's great.
And what Russia is now saying tonight. Back here in the U.S.
So what? Now they're gonna come at Ukraine, or
from the Midwest right into the Northeast tonight. Wednesday into Thursday, Lee Goldberg standing by to time
Ukraine's just a fucking problem starter,
New
man.
York to Boston. And what's coming
What the hell? Snow did that?
a major medical breakthrough tonight, a 53-year-old American grandmother becoming the first living person in the world to receive a kidney from a new kind of genetically modified pig. Tonight,
Genetically modified pig. Interesting.
to a few good men.
What? Why the fuck is the Navy honoring Tom Cruise? Why don't you honor the real heroes?
Your ideas pouring in. There's still
Stupid publicity stunt, man.
wine to barbecue sauce. And what they've now done with the Major League Baseballs and bats, the NHL hockey sticks. Tonight, how to get a piece of your favorite team.
Interesting.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New
So apparently you can get a baseball bat or a hockey stick, round it into a drinking mug.
Begin tonight with the breaking news of the CEO murder case. Just in tonight, a grand jury in New York City has now indicted Luigi Mangione on first and second degree murder charges, calling it an act of terror. The DA called it a frightening, well-planned, targeted murder. Authorities say it was intended to cause terror. Tonight, Mangione
It's just murder. How is it a terrorist act? That's crazy.
His newly hired lawyer now says she expects he will agree to waive extradition. And
That's crazy. They're charging him as a terrorist. It's just a murder, man. He had problems. The dude wouldn't cover it. He was the CEO of United. It's not a terrorist thing. That's crazy.
ABC senior investigative correspondent Aaron Petersky leading us
You know, murder's murder. I'm not condoning it.
Tonight, nearly 2 weeks after the chief executive of United Healthcare was gunned down outside a Manhattan hotel and left to die on the sidewalk, a grand jury indicted Luigi Mangione, charging him with killing Brian Thompson in furtherance of
That guy has
terrorism.
weird teeth. He looks like a chipmunk.
The beginning of a busy day.
Oh, I remember him. Didn't he used to play for the Philadelphia Eagles?
The intent
He's a linebacker, right?
So terror.
The 26-year-old Ivy League graduate is now charged with
I wonder what he's
first and
yelling.
second
They
degree
always
murder for the
block that
high-profile
out. They never let us know what he's yelling.
Well-planned, targeted.
There's Reggie White
It
again.
was intended to cause shock and attention and intimidation.
For the first time today, the NYPD detailed how detectives first spoke to Mangione's mother 3 days after the shooting. She had reported him missing in November to police in San Francisco. As soon as they saw the wanted poster, they called New York.
That looks like a chick in those photos. It doesn't look like him. It looks like someone else in those photos.
They had a conversation where she didn't indicate that it was her son in the photograph, but she said it might be something that she could see him doing.
Why would your own mother throw you out like that? Why wouldn't she just be like, I don't know.
She also floated about
I
a
don't know.
possible insanity defense.
You have someone who's a valedictorian of his class.
Look, we got 3 CIA members and 2 other people.
Family. I mean, something changed, right? Significantly, something changed.
Now, with an indictment secured, New York's police commissioner said no one should lionize the suspect.
I still don't get how this is an act of terrorism. That's crazy.
We have seen a shocking and appalling celebration of cold-blooded murder. Let me say this plainly. There is no heroism in what Mangione did. This was a senseless act of violence. It was a cold and calculated crime that stole a life and put New Yorkers at risk.
Well,
Mangione sailed to Pennsylvania tonight. David's attorney tells us she expects
let's see why he did it.
extradition Thursday.
There has to be a motive, right?
Court for arraignment on this sparingly used murder charge reserved for the most depraved killings. David?
Aaron Petersky leading us off with the breaking news here tonight.
Look at
Aaron
this
saying
slimy
we should know that Aaron
bastard.
is just part of the team that will have a special
As long as I heard you, I'm
on
cool
suspect
now.
Luigi Mangione
Oh,
and the CEO murder case.
surfing the
Thursday night,
waves.
10 p.m. Eastern.
I'm making $1 million a day on NBC,
Now,
man.
the other developing story at this hour and what authorities are now saying about motive in the deadly school shooting 24 hours ago in Madison, Wisconsin. Tonight, hear the image of the suspect. Police say the shooter was a 15-year-old student, Natalie Rucknow. They also call her Samantha, her friends, where authorities are now searching tonight.
You know what the news is refusing to say?
From Madison.
Here's the real story. It's a transgender named Natalie. It used to be, or no, I'm sorry, named Nathan. It used to be Natalie. So Natalie was going out with some dude.
At this time, it appears that the motive.
Yeah, this is all bullshit. But Natalie was going out with some dude, right? And then Natalie decided to be Nathan and decided to change the old genderoo. And I guess the boyfriend was like, nah, I'm not down with that. I like you as a woman. And he got with some other chick, and then next thing you know, Natalie and the other 2 are dead. So Natalie, Nathan, whatever the hell, came in there and shot the boyfriend, shot the new girlfriend, and then shot him or herself. They self, I guess. They like to call they or them or it. I don't know. Fucking know.
In the minutes before the shootings, multiple posts to X, formerly Twitter, from an account believed to be Rucknow's, one at 10:45, showing
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with all the new terms.
gesture flashed by past white supremacist mass shooters.
Sad situation,
and another
though.
at 10:50, linking to a locked Google
By the way,
Drive that may contain writings by
I was
the
literally
suspect.
putting my fence up from the last hurricane. I was hammering into things. I caught my knuckle right there. I think it's broken. I don't know. I can barely bend it.
And David, investigators have collected
Alright, back to
evidence
the shit.
from the shooter's home and say her family is cooperating. They're still trying to figure out how she got that handgun. A vigil for the victims will be held later tonight. David?
The country thinking about that community tonight.
Isn't that disrespectful to call her a she if it was a he? I don't know how this
saying
works.
about this
Right.
and what they've now deployed tonight. And lawmakers up on the Hill emerging from a 3-hour classified House intelligence briefing and what they said afterward. Whit Johnson on this again tonight.
Tonight, growing calls for answers about those apparent drone sightings across the Northeast.
My opinion is it's the United States causing a distraction, making it flood the media, and there's something that's going to come after this. That's it's like a distraction, this drone issue. That's my opinion.
Mistaken assumptions about the lights in the sky.
The briefing comes as more suspected drones
But who
spotted
knows?
at sensitive US
Those things look a
military
lot
bases from New Jersey
like,
to
why would
Utah
those
and
things
Ohio.
have
But the Pentagon saying
the
they
same
found
exact
additional counter-drone systems,
distress
including
lights or whatever?
drone
You know,
launches to two
why would they have the
bases
same
in
lights that
Northeast.
the FAA requires for airplanes? The same exact pattern, symbol.
On the drone, which can affect
Interesting.
its flight.
The Pentagon going
I'm
further,
surprised the
saying no
aliens are
reason to
worried
suspect
about
a threat.
Is it possible that
other
some of those
aircraft
drones could
running
be
into
up
them,
to,
you know, with their
activity? It's entirely possible.
red
but the
light
vast majority,
distress things.
That is not, the case.
There are more than 1 million
Maybe they don't have
registered drones
insurance.
in the
Who
U.S.,
knows?
and it's not illegal to fly them day or night. According to federal regulators, recreational drones must fly at or
By the way, I
below
gotta chill.
400 feet, and pilots must maintain line of sight. And in New Jersey tonight, energy agencies knocking down an
How did the
alarming
banana
theory
leave so
saying
fast
it's
in his
just not
car?
true. News reports linking
I don't know
drone
how.
sightings to a small amount of
He peeled
medical-grade radioactive material that was temporarily lost in transit. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection issuing
Yep,
a
that's
statement
the
to
United
ABC
States.
News saying the source has been located, repackaged, and sent to the
Oh, they're
manufacturer.
FedEx drones,
And
huh?
the National Nuclear
Gotcha.
Security Administration saying it does not employ drones for nuclear radiological detection missions.
And David,
Why
that
not?
statement goes on to say that nuclear officials are not currently conducting any aerial operations in that
Hi,
region.
it's Shit
And
Johnson.
intelligence agencies insist that most of the thousands of sightings are some
That's his name.
combination of various
That'd be
drones
funny.
operating lawfully
Shit Johnson.
or manned civilian aircraft.
Ah, Whit.
David, Whit Johnson back
His
with
name's
us
Whit.
tonight. Thank you, Whit. Now to a
That's
dramatic
a
scene in
fake.
court today to accuse Long Island serial killer.
Look
In
at this
court saying,
guy. What
I am
the
not
hell?
guilty of any of these charges. But tonight, Rex Huerman is now charged in the death
Yeah,
of a seventh
that
woman
lawyer
now.
looks worse
And
than the damn
prosecutors say
serial
they
killer.
found in
Look
the
at the
surgeon's
guy. Look
home.
at Baldy.
They believe he kept souvenirs.
What the
Here's
hell?
Stephanie Roberts.
I swear to God, this guy every day is getting a new murder charge at Dildo Beach or whatever the hell it's called.
In a seventh case, the murder of Valerie Mack. Afterward, Rex
What a
Huerman telling the
POS.
court, Your Honor, I am not guilty of any of these charges. Mack's partial
Of course,
remains
what else would you
initially
say, right?
found back in November of 2000. More than a decade later, investigators finding the 24-year-old's skull just east of Gilgo Beach.
We have mitochondrial DNA from a hair that was found on the body of Valerie Mack.
In a court filing, prosecutors say DNA analysis linked hair found near Mack's left wrist to Huerman's wife and daughter. Neither women are
That's
considered
crazy.
suspects.
This guy was
Mack
going around
now
for
among 7 women
like fucking
authorities say
25
Huerman
years
killed
just
in a
killing
string that
people.
spanned decades. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. And tonight, investigators allege Huerman kept souvenirs. Authorities say a search warrant of his home in Long Island and Manhattan office uncovered multiple newspaper and magazine clippings about the murders. Tonight, the families of Huerman's alleged victims emotional, presenting Mack's
That
parents
looks like
with flowers in her
my
honor.
lesbian aunt.
David, prosecutors say they're now preparing for the first
Not her.
major
Looks like my
litigation
cousin.
in this case. That's expected sometime around February or March. David.
All right,
Hold on,
Stephanie
let's go
Roberts.
back. That really does look like my lesbian
Stunning
aunt.
images
Aunt
just now
Chips, I
emerging
call
from
her.
Russia.
Hold on, let me go back. Yeah.
In Long
Alright,
Island
so we're
and
gonna look
Manhattan
at
office
lesbian Aunt
uncovered
Chips.
multiple
She's about to
newspaper and
pop up.
magazine clippings about the murders. Tonight,
I
the
swear, my
families of
aunt looks
Huerman's
just like
alleged
that.
victims
And she's a,
emotional,
oh
presenting
yeah,
Mack's
that's her.
parents with flowers in her honor.
Butchiest lesbian,
David, prosecutors say they're now preparing
baddest
for the
drunk
first
at Thanksgiving.
major litigation
That's
in this
Aunt
case.
Chips,
That's
yep.
expected sometime around February or March. David.
All right, Stephanie Ramos. Steph, thank you. Overseas tonight into the stunning new images just now emerging from Russia. Ukraine assassinating a top Russian general inside Moscow. He was the general in charge of protecting Russia's biological, chemical, and nuclear weapons. Tonight here, the dash cam video showing the general and
So that's gonna work out great for Ukraine.
frozen the video
I'm
just
sure
before
Russia's
the
happy about
explosion was
that.
Explosives hidden on a scooter. Tonight, Ukraine says
Yeah.
the general was a war criminal. And
So it's
both
funny,
Russia and
Biden,
South
like,
Korea
on his way
was actually
out,
born
you
in
know,
Ian Pass.
he's just deciding to, like, pick fights with everybody. And we're gonna have to deal with it, you know. Hopefully he leaves there without doing too much damage. You know, got rid of his son, that's fine, whatever. Expected that. But if Ukraine keeps bombing Russia like this, I mean, are we supposed to help them out if Russia bombs them back? I think not. Why the hell should we, you know? This shit's been going on for 3 years, man. We've given them almost $1 trillion. Probably giving them more than that, to be honest with you. Everything's cash, too.
It comes as Ukraine released these unverified videos, claiming to show North Korean troops on the battlefield, fighting alongside Russian forces. The US now confirming several hundred North Korean soldiers have been killed and wounded.
David, the US saying it had nothing to do with the attack, Russia vowing retaliation, but it shows what Ukraine's security service is capable of. And they're warning tonight, such an inglorious...
They're capable of calling the United States and having them do the dirty work for them.
Panel with us tonight, Ian. Thank you. Back here in the U.S. at this hour,
Because they don't have any fucking money and they need the United States to do everything. Because they don't have any fucking weapons either. So they need the United States to borrow money from, and then after they borrow the money, they can buy the weapons from the United States.
Hey David, that storm is taking shape in the plains and in the Midwest right now, and we have flood watches out from Memphis to Nashville.
It's all just circulating. They're taking our tax dollars. They're just circulating it around to each other's pockets.
So by the end of the day, you've got some of the
Feeding us
city right
bullshit.
approaching the I-95 corridor. It looks like a quick soaker, maybe a half-inch of rain, and there's snow and
Well,
ice
so much
upstate
for
and into northern New England.
global
You
warming.
actually
Remember that?
snow
Remember that was a
for some
huge
of the
issue
ski
like
areas. Now, there's a second system,
past
a
20
clipper in the
years.
northern plains that could
You don't
drop
ever hear
off
about it
this
anymore.
summer, and that's the clipper that has the key to
Speaking
the
of which, I think Florida's been the coldest it has in years.
over the weekend. Could even bring a little snow here in New York City Friday night, but you're looking at sub-zero wind chills from the Midwest, single-digit wind chills in the Northeast, and the cold is diving deep into the South,
Yeah.
all the way down to Florida. The
Sounds about
recovery
right.
is slow in the Christmas
Sounds about
season.
global warming. Sub-zero temperatures in
When
December.
we come back, a lot more ahead tonight. The verdict in the murder of the popular founder of Cash App. With the
Grab your damn bill.
Also, that major medical breakthrough tonight. An American grandmother receiving a kidney from a genetically modified pig. And then look at this, the major honor tonight, from Top Gun to Maverick to A Few Good Men. What's happened to Tom Cruise tonight? In a moment here.
Why are they celebrating
Tonight,
Tom
guilty
Cruise?
verdict in the murder of popular Cash App founder
Yes, a
Bob
5'4" Scientologist deserves the Medal of Honor from the Air Force. That's
Lee was
craziness.
found staggering along the street, bleeding and calling for help. Prosecutors say he was driven to an isolated spot and stabbed multiple times. When we come back here tonight, the breakthrough transplant, what's happened for an American grandmother and her message tonight. Also, the major news involving Tom Cruise, you want to hear this. And our Made in America Christmas, last minute ideas, Made in America.
Yeah, ask Tom Cruise how he feels about
Tonight,
Christmas.
doctors celebrating a major medical breakthrough. A 53
Well, Lord Xenu may come down from the volcanic ashes and bring us to the planet that we're supposed to be at.
They were unable to find a human match for the patient, Tawana Looney.
So apparently this woman got a pig kidney, and it works.
Tonight, from Top Gun to Top Honors, Tom Cruise honored
And
by
now they're
USA
celebrating
Navy
this
Secretary Carlos Del Toro presenting him with the
homosexual.
Distinguished Public Service Award for his
Damn, he got
contributions to
fat.
the Navy and Marine Corps public awareness because of so many of his roles.
Actually, looks like he's bloated from drinking. To be honest with you. The need for speed.
So many favorite scenes.
See how he,
His
he had to jump up to do that high five.
The original in 86, the sequel,
You guys,
Top Gun Maverick,
you
36
girls
years later.
think Tom Cruise is so hot, right? But if you stood next to him, he'd have to like get on his tippy toes to give you a peck on the
Come
cheek.
back here tonight. We asked and you answered. Your Made in America ideas, from olive oil to wine to barbecue sauce.
He's got a step
to getting
ladder
a
for
piece
his
of your
motorcycle.
favorite team.
Looking for value and
Is that it?
flavor? Try the everyday deals at Sonny's. Get the pork big deal for 10.
I don't know if that's it or not. Hold on a second.
12.
You're from olive
Nope,
oil
never
to
mind. We're
wine,
still going.
From barbecue sauce to your favorite team. It's a Made in America Christmas. Tonight, our great Made in America Christmas, 13 years
Tonight,
ago.
I go for a
Already this year,
walk to
your
taste
ideas from
barbecue
Virginia,
sauce.
Georgia, Colorado, Missouri, Minnesota, Montana, California, Florida, Vermont, New York, and New Jersey. Those firefighters, the two brothers, kicking it off. I'm ready for my upstate winter.
100%.
Yeah. And tonight, Dayton, Oregon, south of
That guy looks like an empty container that you could just pour anything in there that you want, and he would just spill it
The
out.
best olive oils in the world are being made right here in Dayton, Oregon.
54 workers making 10,000 gallons of olive oil.
10,000
Their
gallons.
classic olive oil and the flavors too.
We make a jalapeno oil, a lemon.
You look like you
and
used to
orange.
make rock
Fan
music
favorite.
back in the 80s.
That's from their olives, but their grapes too. Making their own wine, Durant Vineyards, 60,000 bottles of wine this year alone. And after surviving a wildfire a few years back, they weren't sold of the wine from that year, but they salvaged it for something else.
They salvaged it for later.
Culinary Director Eric Bartle.
First ingredient is
Yeah, look at this genius.
heavy on molasses.
We cultivated our grapes to make a barbecue sauce.
They say it's delicious on spare ribs, brisket. Some of the
Yeah, there's
proceeds from
nothing I
that
love
sauce
more on my
went
ribs
back to
than
the fire department. The
grape
firefighters
juice.
helped fight those fires.
Hi, David.
Dayton Fire District's Lieutenant.
What is it with
Jerry McLeod.
firefighters and chili
Sauce for giving back to the fire
or
district
sauce?
here.
They're always saucing something. They're always having cookouts. They're always chilling something up, you know, chili, 5-alarm chili, 3-alarm chili.
Major League Baseball's bats, uniforms, NHL hockey sticks, and goalposts, all from
Just
real
get on the
games and turn them
fucking
into
softball
bottles,
team and shut up.
wallets, winter hats, bracelets, all gifts from your favorite team's gear.
Hi, David.
Owner Ward Wallow.
This is Ron Crumble.
They've been airing this for 10 minutes. I still have no idea what this company does.
They fulfill orders.
That guy looks crazy. I would never buy anything from them.
Carefully unwinding the core inside 130 yards of yarn, and then hand braid into bracelets. Hockey goalposts and baseball bats transformed into bottle
That seems like a
printed right there.
fucking
Game-used
huge
bats
waste
from
of time.
Chicago
Are you
Cubs.
kidding me?
And baseball uniforms, including the Philadelphia Phillies, sewn into wallets. All 3 words in mind. We love it. Tomorrow night, more of your ideas and a great one. Here's a hint. You'll remember it from the movie It's a Wonderful Life. I'll see you tomorrow for that.
That movie blows.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
So, I guess I could find something else to watch. I ended quicker than I thought. Uno momento, por favor.
Good morning, America.
Here we go. Good morning, America.
Storm, the drone buster deployed in only 7 days until the holidays. Overnight, massive flames in Southern California forcing evacuations. Firefighters battling the blaze.
I don't know why.
The wildfire.
I mean, I know why, but I don't know
as Santa Ana winds up to 71 miles per hour sweep through the region.
how
Plus a new fast
Michael Strahan is
sweeping
a
across the plains to the
anchor for a news
northeast.
show.
As heavy fog in
The
Louisiana
man can't
caused
speak.
highway
He has a
problems.
lisp that's really annoying. And there's certain words that he really can't say to you. You know what I'm saying?
A vigil for those killed in the Wisconsin school shooting. Everyone was targeted in this incident.
I mean, he's a nice guy and everything, but there's certain words he just can't say. And it really is not the best way to deliver the news.
Hawaii plane crash. What happened when the pilot lost control shortly after takeoff in this training flight?
It
New
crashed.
charges for the suspect in the fatal shooting of the CEO of United Healthcare.
This was a killing that was intended to evoke terror.
The 26-year-old charged with first-degree murder as terrorism. When will he face a judge in New York?
Whenever he gets there, he's still in Pennsylvania, right?
About the widening drone mystery, now spotted as far west as Utah, as the Pentagon deploys new measures, including a drone buster.
New twist for the Menendez brothers. The attorney for 24 family members who want to see them free.
John Melendez. John Menendez. Stuttering John Menendez. By the way, if you guys know who Stuttering John Melendez is, that guy's a fucking piece of shit. Troll him like a
Part of a
mofo.
growing group of trailblazers. How doctors say they could help change the world.
Yep, Santa's always on a jet ski.
Christmas Day and the start of Hanukkah, we're taking you inside Pennsylvania's largest
Corporate America
Christmas market.
exploiting Christmas once
Are
again.
flying into Wednesday as Santa gets ready for a big week.
Live in Times Square. This is Good Morning America.
Live with a bunch of bullshit.
Good morning,
It's a good morning America.
1 week until Christmas and Hanukkah, which means you're almost out of time to get those packages in the mail.
Look at George,
About the shipping deadline, including
I'm
one
5 foot
that is today,
two-wickus.
and where there have been some delays.
I can't stand him. On the right, this guy.
This morning we're unlocking a better shopping experience.
He used to be like,
At the new technology CBS
shit,
is testing. We're
oh.
going to show you how it works.
But we're going to begin
Him.
with a new
He used to be an advisor for President
evacuations in Southern
Clinton.
California overnight.
Damn it.
Ginger is back, tracking this and more that's happening all across the country. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. So this one's called the Soto Fire. It's 30 acres. They've got it 20% contained, but the classic setup for this 4 quarters high that
That guy,
sends
the little-
wind offshore, and therefore you've got humidity down 10 to 20%, big winds, rough one for the firefighters. Overnight, a new wildfire forcing evacuations in Southern California's Jurupa Valley, just 50 miles east of Los Angeles.
Y'all are starting
Homes
these
and
damn
businesses
fires.
threatened. Flames engulfing the hillside.
We get a call from the neighbor that our mountain's on fire. We're getting hose trying to water our mountain. It's literally probably 20, 30 feet from my backyard.
Firefighters working through the night to try to contain the blaze.
She looks like a average drug user in Florida.
Approaching a high school.
Look at that. Look.
Red flag and
All right.
wind alerts in
Hold on.
place as Santa
Look
Ana
at how
winds up to 71 miles per
perfectly
hour sweep through the region.
burning this is. Hold on. If it's not us doing it, then someone did. Hold on. Go back to the perimeter of this damn fire.
Overnight, a new wildfire
This shit's
forcing evacuations
every
in
goddamn
Southern
2 months or
California's
so.
Jurupa
Look
Valley,
at that.
just
Straight
50
line.
miles
Hold
east
on.
of Los Angeles. Homes and businesses threatened.
Yeah.
Flames engulfing the hillside.
Arrows. Look at that. Straight line all the way around like a perimeter. It's a perfect perimeter around where the fuck that fire's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Through the night to try to contain the blaze, using heavy machinery to hold the line. You can see the fire approaching a high school. Red flag
Perfect
and wind
perimeter.
alerts in place as Santa Ana
Look at
winds
that.
up to 71 miles per
It doesn't
hour
burn
sweep
like
through the
that. It
region.
burns sporadically. It doesn't burn in a line. It's either, you know, there's some materials put there to make it burn like that
Most of this is going
all
to
at
be
the
bad
same
throughout the
time,
morning,
or
and then the alerts go until
it's
about
an
6
act
p.m.
of,
It's all
you know,
that air
just
pushing
straight
down,
up,
compressing. Critical fire danger
you
includes the Santa
know,
Monica
an act of God, you know?
You're also, you're
But why would he do that?
tracking storm that's
It
on the
doesn't make
move this
sense.
morning.
So,
That dangerous fog and what it means for all these people trying
but
to
there's
get
no
early
way
start
the
college.
fire
Well,
burns
you
in
know,
a perfect
Robin,
square
you know,
like
this
that.
causeway over Lake Pontchartrain, that's
Fire
one of the longest in the
is
state of Louisiana.
what you
Well,
call
they had
uncontrollable,
dozens of
and you
vehicles
can't
involved
contain
here.
it,
They had
obviously,
15
especially
people
when
at
it's a
least go to the
wildfire.
hospital
That's
because
hence the
fog
name
was so
wildfire.
bad and so dense. And we're doing that again this morning for so many places, from Houston that's down to near zero. New Orleans has a quarter-mile visibility. Tuscaloosa, throughout parts of Georgia, like Macon, a quarter-mile, and all the way up into Virginia and eastern Tennessee. So please be careful. Try not to drive if you don't absolutely have to. It's all under this front with the flood watches that are up. From Memphis
Try not to
there
drive if
just
you don't
north of
have to.
Nashville. So if you're traveling there on I-40,
Okay.
or you're coming north-south,
So everyone
there
should
could
stay
be
in their
some
homes,
strong to
right?
severe storms that even come along with this. And
Because
then
there's some
eventually,
rain
by
coming
Wednesday
in or
night,
something.
it comes here. And so
Everyone needs to stay in their homes. There's rain coming in.
if you are up
Chill
in the
out.
Catskills.
Okay, Ginger, thanks very much for your turn.
Job ain't that important.
Into the Madison
Yeah,
Wisconsin
this
school
fucking
shooting that
guy.
left a student and teacher dead, others injured.
Every time I try to zoom in on it.
Open fire. Alex Perez is in Madison with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, George. Through her
Yeah,
social
good
media,
morning,
we're
George.
getting a better picture of what the
I don't know what I'm
15-year-old
talking
may
about,
have
but the
been
thing in
thinking
front of me
in the
does.
moments
So,
before the
I'm
shooting.
here.
This morning, the search for answers. Investigators closely sifting through 15-year-old Natalie Ruppnow's social media accounts, hoping to figure
That's
out
not
why
Natalie,
the
it's
teen shot
freaking
killed a
Nathan.
teacher and student at her
Put the
school,
real story out
injuring
there.
6 others.
Identifying a motive is our
They're not putting the real story out there.
but at this time, it
This
appears
was
that the
Nathan
motive was
that
a
did it.
combination
Changed her
of
name to
factors.
Natalie.
We were
Or
talking to
Natalie did
students to
this,
understand
changed her name to
whether
Nathan.
bullying was
The boyfriend
one of
didn't want to be with the
multiple factors.
transgendered
Police say the
person.
shooter brought a handgun to
So
school and
Natalie
opened fire at
/
Study Hall
Nathan
classroom
decided to
Monday.
kill him
Many of the families
and
that
his
have
new
lived their
girlfriend.
life are Pastor Brian
They're not
Peterson's
telling you any of
parishioners,
this.
including one of
I
the
don't get it.
survivors.
What she had to see, no
All they're
child
telling
to
you
see,
is
in that she was right there in the room when
this
it was taking place.
this young girl just decided to kill 2 people.
Digital footprint, discovering
It's not
posts
Natalie, it's
made
Nathan.
minutes before
Or
the
vice
shooting.
versa, I forget.
We are working to authenticate the documents that you see online that some are referring to as a manifesto.
James Smith's daughter is a
Manifesto.
junior at Abundant Life. He says it's a refuge for many students who struggle at other schools.
Those who have been disenfranchised or bullied in other situations and saying, well, you can find love here.
I'm sorry to tell you, but if I went to school one day as me, and the next day I was like, yeah, you can call me Timothy instead of Timothy. Call me Timolina.
Honestly,
I'm a chick now.
it's
You
still
know?
kind of hard to
I'm pretty sure I would have got bullied too.
because of just how incredibly emotionally and mentally taxing that experience was. You never really realize
Looks like your whole life is emotionally
how much
taxing.
something like this will affect you
So are
until
them
it happens.
Fritos you're shoving your face with.
And authorities have collected evidence from the shooter's home and say her parents are cooperating. Michael?
All right, thank you so much for that.
Michael,
We're going to turn now
Stephen,
to the latest on the
Michael.
killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Yeah, so I kind of have a list, but I still have a job as a multi-million-dollar anchor.
An act of terrorism.
Just don't have me say anything with S.
Here with the details. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Michael. In New York, first-degree murder is charged sparingly, reserved for the most depraved
Yes,
killings.
Michael.
And
It's
prosecutors
charged
here said the
sparingly.
assassination-style murder of United Healthcare's Brian
I'm
Thompson
boring.
was no ordinary killing.
This morning, Luigi Mangione is
I
charged
make
with
this guy
murdering
look like a
Brian
monster.
Thompson
In all reality,
an act
I
of
mean, whatever. He
terrorism.
killed someone. He
This
shouldn't have done
was
that.
a killing
He had
that
back
intended
problems.
to
He
evoke
tried to get
terror.
coverage.
Sources say
United
Mangione
Healthcare wouldn't give him
described a deepening
coverage.
fixation
So
on
he
his
decided to
medical
pop the
concern and an
CEO
increasing malice
in the
for
head.
United Healthcare's perceived greed.
And that's it. There's no hidden message or terrorism. Or...
This was a frightening, well-planned, targeted murder that was intended to cause shock and attention and intimidation.
The 11-count indictment also charges Mangione with unlawfully possessing a ghost gun.
These weapons are increasingly proliferating throughout New York City.
Have they
and the
even
entire
explained to
country.
us what they consider a ghost gun? I never even heard of that term.
And admiration for the alleged killer.
A ghost gun.
Something New
That
York's
means
police
that y'all
commissioner
supplied
called
him
vile.
with a gun,
Social media
and you
has
can't track it
erupted
back.
with praise for this cowardly attack. People ghoulishly
Made it with a
plastered posters
3D printer, my
threatening
ass.
Other CEOs
It's
with
crazy.
an X over Mr. Thompson's picture.
And how the hell, 10 minutes after this dude did something, you know exactly who he is.
McDonald's after someone recognized him. 3 days after the shooting, investigators spoke
That
to
looks
Mangione's
nothing
mother,
like, that
who
looks
did
like a
not
chick.
rule out the killer could be her son.
They had a conversation where she didn't indicate that it was her son in the photograph, but she said it might be something that she could see him doing.
What?
His attorney now tells ABC News she expects
Why would a
Mangione
mother
to waive
turn her
extradition
child
on
in like that?
Thursday. He could appear in a New
Just
York
say, I
court
don't
the
know.
same day. The lawyer declined to comment on the indictment itself, but if convicted, guys, Mangione faces an almost certain sentence of life in prison without parole, Robbie.
All right, Aaron, thank you for staying on top of this for us. Appreciate you. Now the latest on the rash of drone sightings, which began in the
Oh my
Northeast.
God, not
More
again.
sightings are being reported as far west as Utah now. Whit Johnson is tracking it all. And Whit, on Capitol Hill, lawmakers joining many in expressing frustration. Good morning.
Exactly, Robin. Good morning to you. Intelligence officials say they are starting to get a clear picture of what at least some of these sightings might be, a combination of lawfully operated drones
It's
and manned
us, you
aircraft.
idiots.
But many remain convinced there's more we don't know. This morning, more suspected drone sightings, raising questions.
I
and
highly
frustration
doubt
across the
aliens have
Northeast.
FAA technology that they're conveniently using to avoid other
Our
airplanes
federal government
with the
has
red blinking lights.
no idea, no clue, no reliable
This guy, he looks like an alien himself.
On Capitol Hill, members of the House Intelligence Committee meeting for a 3-hour classified briefing with top security officials from the FBI, CIA, and other agencies.
Yeah,
We
you
have
don't
a
know
lot
what
of
the fuck he's
answers,
talking about. You can
but
tell.
there's some unanswered questions.
Hey, what, me? Ah, shit. I don't know.
Outpace the law. Intelligence officials insist there is no reason to suspect any threat to the public.
Oh, of
This
course
following
not.
a
They're just
series
flying
of
over your
sites
house,
military
you know,
sites from New Jersey to Ohio,
just
to
hanging
Utah.
out. Just let them
The
be.
Pentagon now deploying additional counter-drone systems,
Invite them into your
including
home.
a so-called drone buster at 2 bases in the Northeast.
essentially, emits a signal which is able to interrupt the signal on the drone.
Essentially, you don't know what the fuck you're
Knocking
talking
down
about.
news reports linking drone sightings to a small amount of medical-grade radioactive material that was temporarily lost in transit. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection issuing a statement to ABC News saying the material has been located, repackaged, and sent to the manufacturer. The National Nuclear Security Administration saying it is not currently conducting any aerial operations in that region. Lawmakers getting similar answers.
So shoot it out of the sky.
We are assured, and we ask this question over and over and over again, they are not federal government operations to sniff radiation, gas, recovery, anything else.
Now, despite criticism from both sides of the aisle, one thing the White House and lawmakers appear to agree on is that more needs to be done in the form of bipartisan legislation to monitor this massive increase.
By the way, this guy's first name is Whit, W-H-I-T.
Okay, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to a deadly plane crash in Hawaii. 2 people were killed on a training flight. Gio Benitez here with the story. Good morning, Gio.
This is a sad one, George. Good
George
morning. Yeah, the small plane
Stephanopoulos.
had made
I
8
can't
flights
stand him.
yesterday just fine. And then came this final flight where something went very, very
Greek
wrong.
midget.
And the tragedy was captured on camera.
This morning, dashcam video catching the last moments of a Kamaka Air flight in Hawaii just before it crashed. The pilot overheard scrambling to find a place to land.
Kamaka 689, you're turning right? Kamaka 689,
Oh, we're turning left.
out of control here. Okay, Kamaka 689, okay, if you can level it off, that's fine. Any runway, any place you can do.
The plane slamming into an abandoned
Damn.
building as first responders raced to the scene. The explosion tearing off part of the building. Fiery wreckage found strewn in the parking lot. The Kamaka Air Cessna 208 was conducting a training flight when the pilot lost control shortly after takeoff.
Yeah, absolute tragedy occurred.
There was no one inside the building.
That's
at the
a
time.
hell of
It's
a...
scheduled for demolition.
Dude, there's no way that little plane did that shit.
That there's somebody to help, and tragically today that wasn't the case.
Both people on board were killed. And our ABC affiliate in Honolulu,
Two people on board, huh?
reports that one of the pilots was just 22 years old, a graduate training for his pilot's license. Kamaka is an air cargo service, so it's not meant for passengers, but the FAA and the NTSB are investigating.
Just that.
Oh, thank God. They did a lot for us on 9/11 with that investigation.
Fairness Act, and the key test vote this afternoon to advance it. Elizabeth Sylvie has more on what's at stake.
Hey, it's Michael Strahan. I'm trying to say F's, but sometimes I can't say S.
On legislation that would put more money in the
Something to do with my gap in my
The
tooth.
Social Security Fairness Act would expand benefits for nearly 3 million retired teachers, firefighters, police officers, and other public servants. It would do that by repealing policies that limit Social Security payments for some retirees who also collect public pensions. Now, the average monthly Social Security check right now for retired workers is about $2,000. This bill did already pass the House.
Is that good? I don't even know. $2,000?
Some
No.
Republican senators are
Ain't
worried
shit.
about its price tag that will add about $200 billion to the deficit. As it stands right now, the Social Security Trust Fund is set to run out of money in just 9 years. If
Oh, I
this
can't wait till I
legislation
retire.
doesn't pass the Senate by the end
Bitch.
of the session this week,
Jesus.
then lawmakers would have to start from scratch next year.
Could at least put some lube on it
So closely. All right,
before you told me
Now,
that.
a major medical breakthrough. An Alabama woman is providing new hope for people who
By the
desperately
way, that's
need
the,
an organ transplant because her
used to
new
be a running
kidney
back for the
came from a pig. Morgan Norwood has
Oakland Raiders right there.
Good morning to you, Robin. This is just a fascinating story. Tawana Looney went into organ failure just years after donating her kidney to her mother. She would then spend years tethered to the dialysis chair, and now this
Groundbreaking pig
operation
kidney
has changed
transplant.
everything for her. We sat down with Tawana exclusively as she shares her hope for others.
Those are 4 words I've never heard before in a sentence.
That's how strong the kidney was pumping. Tawana Looney is only the 5th person in the world to receive a genetically modified organ from a pig. She's part of a growing group of trailblazers undergoing groundbreaking procedures, which doctors say could help change the world.
It is, I think, a
From a
very
pig.
important component of a multifaceted approach
I
to
don't know why
trying
it's
to
funny.
relieve organ shortage.
Recipients right now are approved on a case-by-case basis.
If you were to put an unmodified...
Did they like bring a babe in there? You know, the pig? And it's like oinking and oinking and oinking. They put it next to the operating table. They sedate it. They take the kidney out and shove it in her.
The first
How does that work?
recipients all passed away within 3 months of their transplants, but Looney is so far the healthiest person to receive a pig organ.
Is that Evander
7
Holyfield?
years on dialysis and 5 years waiting for a human kidney. But her blood was so full of antibodies, she said her body would have rejected hundreds of potential matches.
In 2017, I heard the news of this research. Oh, it just gave me so much hope.
So you heard that a pig could potentially give you a good kidney, and you're giving hope.
Back in 1999,
All
she
right.
donated one of her kidneys to her mother. Now she hopes
Well, you
her
should have
latest
kept that one.
procedure will help future generations.
It's just like getting a second chance in life.
And doctors say Looney is still being monitored, but is doing incredibly well.
I mean, that's cool and everything. Glad she got her kidney, but if she ever eats pork again, then she doesn't deserve that kidney, you know what I'm saying?
Great. She was doing great. I mean, I honestly felt like she
No
could do
more
more
ribs.
during that interview. I mean, she had so much energy.
Because you've been covering this story for some time.
No more
we
hot
went to the
dogs.
research farm. We also saw the research lab exclusively as well. And it was really incredible to see. Scientists are really on the board.
Favorite movie should be Babe.
All right, thank you, Morgan.
I can't think of it. Maybe Charlotte's Web.
Calling out the new LA district attorney, and he spoke with our Matt Gutman. Matt?
The attorney Robin for most of Menendez family telling me the new DA
Oh, good. They're back in the news.
spent more time talking to the media.
They killing their
and the victims.
new dad, or
guys.
Are
they're
we
still
looking
in
forward to
prison?
that? And also ahead, from shipping deadlines to travel delays, we've got you covered with just 7 days until Christmas and Hanukkah.
Any more shopping news are exclusive about those plexiglass barriers you see in drugstores. They slow down shopping. Now a major chain is testing a way to make it faster.
Coming up on GMA, there's one important shipping deadline today. We're going to tell you what it is, and we're live.
We're gonna tell you what it is. There's gonna be a new sipping date on the thing that you think. Come on, straight hand, spit it out, bro.
Back here on GMA. Oh, I love that lift. That never gets old. Big news for that classic movie right there.
Well, I think I'm gonna eat some dinner, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, or maybe later tonight. Who knows? Have a good one though. But yeah, there's nothing more on the news. Today was kind of boring, to be honest with you. News-wise. Alrighty.
We demand to know how our bestie is doing. I'm sorry, bro. I told you I don't have that information yet. Seriously? I'm so pressed right now, bro. Don't be pressed. The doctor will be in shortly, bro. Dead ass.